Hey guys, Ashley D. Will here. Today we're talking about setbacks. Now, setbacks are something that can really take us by surprise. They can kind of knock us off our feet. They can change the course we're on. And I want to help you keep a healthy perspective of setbacks, because setbacks are a part of every endeavor, every goal, every ball game. There are setbacks. And so a setback can be framed in a way that can be helpful, or it can really bring an end to a lot of things too early that we don't need to let it bring an end to. Case in point, my husband and I had a big setback this past week, and this is what has brought up this topic, because it's very important to frame the setbacks in a way where you can cope with it, okay? So we're talking about setbacks. When we have a setback, not if, but when, we're all going to have them in our relationships. But you can feel discouraged, especially if it catches you off by surprise or throws you off balance. You can feel discouraged. You can feel depressed. You can feel devastated. I was there for about 24 to 36 hours, and I was having all these thoughts that just I really had to steer myself in a better direction. So what the Lord always reminds me to do, and what I have to remind myself about, is you have to keep the big picture. You have to keep the big picture. Back up and look at the whole thing, the whole relationship, or the whole project, whatever it is. You have to back up and remember the big picture. Remember why you're in it in the first place, why you're doing it in the first place. Remember also that setbacks are a part of progress. They are part of the progress that you're making. Why and how? Because say you're climbing up Mount Everest or whatever it is, a big hill. Well, I've tried to show here how you start out taking 2 steps forward, and then you go backwards a step. Then you go forward 1, 2, 3. Then you go backwards a step. Then you go forward 1, 2, 3, and then back again. And sometimes you can even go start out 1, 2, and go back 1, 2, 3. Or go forward 2 and back 3, or forward 4 and back 6. You know, it's just the rhythm of progress is like that. You go forward and then you go back a little and you go forward. But in the overall picture of it, you're going forward and you're going up the hill. I was feeling that we had been through 3 years already of climbing Mount Everest, and we were getting toward the top tier. And I felt like, we were tied together with a rope, say, and one of us slipped and we both fell down like a third of the way we had made. And so we have to go back up. But if I had just focused on the fact that we had gone down a significant amount, I wouldn't be able to see all the progress we had made and how much easier it's going to be to get back where we were if we remember what happened that made us fall that time, slipping or whatever it would be in the context of your situation. So always remember that setbacks are a part of progress necessarily, and in the setback, whatever it is, a slip, a fall, a mistake, or just life, what you want to do is in the setback, when you're feeling this, after you kind of come out of this a little bit, back up and learn what not to do next time. Okay, we were climbing up Mount Everest, we were tied together, and say I slipped on some ice that I didn't see, and it pulled us a third of the way down the mountain. Well, maybe I forgot to wear my ice shoes, or maybe I wasn't looking at the snow closely enough, or maybe we shouldn't be tied together. All the different factors can factor in. So you want to look at the setback and see why it happened, and to try to prevent it next time. Okay? To try to have 2 or 3 ways you can get around it next time. It's better to have more than just one. Okay, so learn what not to do next time. Let the setback be a teaching moment for you in your life, with a couple, in a couple's relationship, in a friend's relationship, in your addiction recovery, whatever it may be, learn how it happened. Say, Lord, show me how this happened, and we're going to make sure this doesn't ever happen again. Something else may happen, but this is never going to happen again. You can do that. Okay, some tips for you. You can reach out for professional help if you need it. If you need to talk to a professional counselor, therapist, whatever would apply in your situation, you need support. Whether you have the money is really not the issue. You can get support without money. Okay, so there are lots of YouTube videos. There are friends you can call. There are online groups. You can go to AA for Celebrate Recovery and different things like that, depending on what your problem is. And then definitely you want to connect with supportive people. These are the groups and the friends and the people that just care about you and want to help you. Okay, and they may mean well and not be that helpful, but you want to try to find the ones that are safe and authentic, that can really speak life into your situation, encourage you, help you to come out of this and to go forward. Okay, you can feel this. This is fine. Just don't stay there. Don't stay there. Let that be one stepping stone for, a day, a few days, a week. But then you got to move on. Okay. And then what you want to remember to do is speak up for yourself, for your needs, if that's a problem. Be sure and speak up for yourself if you struggle with that. Remember that if you're in a relationship with another person, especially if you're married, your spouse is not your life source. They're not your life source. So let them have whatever issues they have, and you have what issues you have, and you're going to lift up the relationship to God and say, Lord, we obviously can't manage this. We need you to intervene and to help us. And then you listen and follow and do what comes to mind, what comes to your heart. Do it, whatever he says. If it's apologizing, if it's praying, if it's going to a counselor, if it's, having a redo of what happened, whatever he shows you. And then in the same vein as how your spouse is not your life source, leave the problem. Let's say my husband has a temper, and let's say that is his problem. It affects me, but it's his problem. I would have to learn to leave that problem in his lap, in his hula hoop. It's not my problem, it's his problem. So I would leave that problem in his hula hoop and let him reap what he sows. For example, if he had a temper and he didn't want to do anything about it, then I would say, fine, go right ahead. I'll be way over here and you'll be way over there. Hi, but don't come around me if you're going to have a temper. See, I would be protecting myself, but I would let him reap what he sows by letting him make his choices. But if he said, yeah, I want to get some help with this, or get some therapy, or take medication, or whatever it would be, then that would let me know that he is more invested. And so I could start to trust him probably sooner and come closer to him sooner, because I would know he's invested. That's just one example. But whatever that would be in your case. So you're going to leave whatever the problem is of your spouses or your friends or the other people in their hula hoop, and you're going to do only your part. That would be patient, reach out for support, Lord, show me if there's anything I'm doing, all of that, self-examination, maybe I could do this different next time, and that would help us not to slip down the mountain. And this is a huge point too. This is probably one of the biggest points, and this goes to Ending the War with Myself, Chapter 7, The Inner Journey. When something comes up in your life, when you have a setback, when you have an episode or a situation with someone that is very conflictual, or a problem just is put right in front of your face, guess who's doing that? The Lord. God Almighty is exposing to you what needs attention or healing. So do you know what this is? This is called a gift. That is a gift. Exposing the problem to you is a gift from God to show you where you need healing, to show you where you need to give your heart some attention or the relationship some attention. All right? That is one of the biggest points here. He's exposing the problem so that you will know where to go address it. What part of you needs to go to the emergency room, or which part of you needs the Band-Aid or the surgery. He's showing you the problem so that you can address it. That's what he does all day long, especially individually in our lives. He shows us these things because he wants to help us. So what do you do when someone gives you a gift? What do you say? Thank you. Thank you so much. This is hard. This is painful. I don't like it, but thank you for bringing this to the surface, because I don't want any gunk, at least in my hula hoop, that hasn't been brought up so that I can give it attention and healing. And then you will work on your part, again, only on your part, and you can do it alone. If you're a couple, if your spouse is cooperative and reasonable, then you can work on your issues alone and the issues with him or her together. If they're not cooperative, you can work on your issues alone, and your spouse can choose whether or not to go to get their own help or not. But the point is, you just want your territory and your hula hoop and your inside of your cup to be being continually cleansed and cared for. And you want to take responsibility for your part and then do something about it. The Lord will show you what to do about it. Okay? So I pray that you will do that, and I pray that you will remember that setbacks are a part of life. It's okay to go here, but don't stay there. Keep the big picture. It's part of your progress. Going back is part of the overall progress of going forward. Learn what not to do next time. Reach out and get help, and God is exposing what needs attention and healing in your heart or in your relationship or in your other person's, whoever it is, heart. All right? So I hope that's helpful, and God bless you.